Praying on time.
Prayer and the timing of prayer is about as important as the prayer itself. We think of God as timeless. He knows what we need, but He wants us to be vocal with it. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. God wants us to come to Him when we even if something we think that we can handle. No, we can turn those things over to God. Even though we may be able to handle it, but it may came to us as a distraction, and God really wants us to focus on something else. Okay? So we need not to be distracted and be on track. So the problem is we have to put things in order. We have to, and I give this parable all the time. When the sun came into effect, all the planets revolved around it. Okay, so that takes a lot. It takes the gravitational pull and all that to be on track. Okay, so we need to have our spiritual walk on track, and what that looks like is us praying or having the connection with the Creator. He designed us to do a thing. So if we see something or we're in something and we see it, we need to give that to God immediately. We can't wait for it's all over and say, hey, look, God, can you pray for these people, or can you pray for that situation? Well, the situation is over. And it may not have turned out the way it was supposed to intend, because we didn't go to God with it when we initially were in it. And God's giving you this over and over again. He's going to give you these tests over and over again. And I tell people this, usually when you see something again, it's a test that you probably didn't complete. Or if you see it again and you were successful, God wants you to do it again for His glory. But we have to make sure that everything that we do, we communicate with God. This is that prayer without ceasing. The main thing is communication. God wants to hear from you, especially when you're in it, and then you get that pit in your stomach if things aren't going out right. You don't have to worry about that if you gave it over to God. The moment you see yourself in a situation and you're unsure of the outcome, be sure of God. God will align those things in a way that it may benefit you, or may not cause as much harm as the devil intended to. So talk to God about it. It may be very minute. It may be, but if it's a thing and it has developed in your mind, if it has developed in your heart, if it's developed in your life, you need to go ahead and turn those things over to God. Especially when you're involved with another soul, or there's a series of souls involved, pray for that person. Don't wait till it's all over to pray for that person, because that prayer didn't do that individual or you any good while you were in the midst of that situation. Don't get me wrong, the prayer after the fact is kind of like the closer. That's to make sure that everyone is well, everyone is operating within God's will, you know. But when we go to God in the midst of the situation,